Family, welcome to Trilogy. We're your hosts. I'm e.red, I'm Gator, and I'm the OG, Uncle Earl. Now I know you're thinking to yourself, what's Trilogy? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. The truth in real time. Absolutely. That's right. And we take you inside the music, inside politics, and inside society in general. Absolutely. Now, like we said, Trilogy is all about you. So if you want to appear on Trilogy, hit us up at info@portcitymediagroup.com. And now, without further delay, we take you inside politics with State Representative VALENCIA STOVALL. All right, family, welcome back to the show. You are Inside Politics with Trilogy. It's your big brother, and I want to introduce you to somebody very special to me. Big sister of mine, State Representative VALENCIA STOVALL. I had to clap for you.
Okay.
Because you done such a good job, man. And, you know, you guys adopted me like family tons of years ago, and I've been knowing you for a while and just seeing since you've gotten in office, you made so much happen. You've made so much happen, and I know personally, but so let's tell everybody at home about you and, you know, things you might want them to know and things they should know.
Okay. Well, I'm Georgia State Representative VALENCIA STOVALL of House District 74, which is in Clayton County. It encompasses the cities of Forest Park, Monroe, Lake City, College Park, and Riverdale. But because I am a state elected official, I have to be concerned about the entire state, especially when we're in session, which starts the second Monday in January of every year. And we have 40-day sessions where we are making and changing and deciding on the lives of making it better, hopefully, for the citizens of the state of Georgia. And I was first elected in 2012, and it was an open seat. And since then, I've been serving. Actually, this is completing my third term because we're elected every 2 years. And it's really been very exciting. It's been up and then it's been down, but more so it's been very exciting. I've learned a lot. And a lot of times people ask, how did you get involved in politics? It's usually the number one question that I'm always asked. And it all started with my dad, Levin Stovall, who's a community organizer and very involved in the community. And he would always take my sisters, my two other sisters along with us to meetings. And one particular time they have community meetings in the city of Atlanta, so they can make sure the community has a say-so in what's going on at City Hall. And so I ended up attending the meeting a couple of times with them, and they were looking for a secretary. And I was about 21, 22, and my dad said, "Oh, I think you'll be a good secretary." So all of them was much older people, and they said, "Yeah, we do need a secretary." So they ended up electing me as secretary of the NPUY, which is Neighborhood Planning Unit Y, and it was made up of a collective of communities in the Southeast Atlanta. And so I took the minutes, but they didn't tell me the parameters of taking minutes.
Okay.
Was that you don't write down everything, just write down the key things. So I'm just writing everything they said. They would talk about each other. They were arguing about different issues that were going on. And so the next meeting, when they said, okay, it's time to read the minutes of the meeting and we'll approve them. And so I passed out all the minutes. I had typed it up. I was thinking I'd done a good job. And once they started reading, they said, "Oh no, you got to take all this out. We're not gonna approve those minutes. We need you to go back and just just focus on the key things. You don't write down everything that everybody says. So that was my first experience with being a secretary of an organization, and really learned a lot. I learned how community can really make a change when they learn how to work together, even when there are different differences. And I've been able to take that with me here at the state capitol. And when I came in, because my dad raised us as grassroots, from being grassroots with anything that you're doing. So when I first became elected as a state representative, I had to look at what are some things that are going on in my community that I could change individually. It takes a collective to do it, but one person has to always start it. And so at that time, the unemployment rate in Forest Park was about 11%, which was the highest in Clayton County and also the highest in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
And so I have been looking at Congressman David Scott, who always had his job fair, and I was like, okay, I'll do it on a smaller scale and do it specifically for the people in my district, my community. And so we partnered with the Georgia Department of Labor and some other good partners, and we were able to kick off now this year would be the 6th year for us doing it.
Wow.
And so, so we're really excited. People have been able to attain jobs. One of the other most challenging part about it when I see people coming in is them not being prepared. Not understanding when you come into a job interview, you need to dress just as if you want to walk away with that particular job. And so we now this year's kind of revamping a little bit of how we're doing it, and more focusing on internship, apprenticeship, and work-based learning for our young people that are still in high school. Because one of the things I've heard from going to all these different conferences from the employers is that they want people with experience. And so when you getting all the education and you don't have the hands-on experience, it puts you behind the ball for a little while. And so if we could now start training our young people to get hands-on experience, and then it also gives them a foot in the door with the employer because they know their personality, they know their quality of work. So that's one of the projects I do every year. And the second one was because I was a parent, very involved in the school, just like my dad had been. And it's amazing how you kind of mirror some things that your parents have done, and you never thought you'd be doing it when you become an adult. And so my dad was always involved in school, and we used to go to the school board meetings with him. And I used to get so scared because he would go in there, he'd be so rough with the people. And they'd say, Mr. Stovall, why are you here at the meeting? He'll say, you'll find out when it's public comment time, because I have told you I don't like what you're doing in the school system. And I used to get so scared when I was sitting there, I was like, oh, they're going to do something to Dad, because he always do it.
Daddy would tell him, yes, sir.
And then I found myself, once my kids enter into school, being involved at the school, going to the school board meetings, doing the same thing, that he mirrored what I saw him do. And so with that, I know that you have parents that really do participate in school, and a lot of times with volunteers, but they don't get recognition. So at the end of the school year, usually it's always the children getting the awards, and the parents, I'm so happy for my baby getting the award. But nobody ever takes the time, a lot of times, to recognize and appreciate the parents and the other volunteers. So you might have a cousin, auntie, grandmother, somebody else that comes to the school as well. So I decided to do parent and volunteer recognition every year, and which you come and participate in and done the videos for us on the Dance on the Bridge. And so this year was our 5th year doing it in May. And for the past 5 years, I think we've recognized over 1,000 parents. We're giving them certificates of appreciation. We actually call each parent's name. They get a chance to come down on the stage, and we take a big picture because that's their day to recognize. And so whatever I can do that's within my power locally in my district, I try to do that by being involved in community meetings, going to the city council meeting, when I'm able, going to the commission meetings, and even when there's community events, going out so they can always see my presence there. And try to be as accessible as possible, because a lot of times you hear a lot of that elected officials, you don't see them anymore till it's time to vote. So I work very hard with early learning, a lot of things with K through 12, and being that education affects everything, especially when you talk about workforce, you talk about economic development, you talk about health, everything is centered around education. And our state budget actually we spend about 58% of our state budget on education, and that's from 0 all the way to higher ed. And so when you hear a lot of times people say, we need more money in education. No, it's how we're spending the money that we're receiving in education. And our school systems have to start becoming more non-traditional. For so long, you have almost 100 years of, sitting in the classroom, the teacher standing in the front, and everybody in their particular seat. Well, that's not how our children are learning now. They're learning at a faster pace because of technology. And so the school system have to learn to adapt to that changing world of technology and understand that some of the jobs that were available 10, 20 years ago no longer exist. They have phased out, but now there are a lot of new opportunities. Just like with film and tech filming and music and entertainment, all that has changed from you look at 10 and 15 years ago. And those particular jobs are those trades. And one of the other things that as a nation that we done it had to be about starting in the 80s. There was always a focus to go to a 4-year college. Yes. And then we started moving away from what we call vocational tech. And then those who wanted to go in vocational tech would look down upon saying, oh, you don't need to go there. You need to go to a 4-year institute. So then you start pushing people into that direction that really a lot of them were not going to function well in that. They couldn't keep maintaining the 3.0 it's going to take and stay focused on a 4-year. They want, no, let me work now. And so then you start having, now we have this huge shortage in what we call the labor force of vocational or trade jobs. I mean, you could barely find someone for a plumber, electrician, and all of those, but everybody's so smart, they went to the 4-year, but can't even halfway change a light bulb. Or let alone know how to, if their washing machine breaks down, what you're going to put it, what tools you're going to use in the back, and the hose you're going to use, you don't. And so now we're redirecting the focus to, hey, let's do more vocational ed or what we call those trade industries. Truck drivers used to be. Now we have a shortage there, and then when you look at the deepening of Savannah Port down near your way, 912, that now all of that product has to be moved some kind of way. And it does take you to have a 4-year degree to know how to move the product. And so now with that shortage, and if we don't catch up with the shortage, we're now having more product sitting at the dock down at Savannah that needs to get moved. But if you don't have truck drivers, you don't have crane operators, you don't have the technology to know how to be able to monitor when that product left, how long it's going to take to get to where it needs to be, because the end user wants that product. And so you lose the money. Then now we have the largest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, that sits in Clayton County, but operated by Atlanta. That's a whole nother thing with the whole jet fuel tax.
Question to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My own personal view is that some people were sitting around the table, and one said, yeah, there's nothing but dirt over there. And in Atlanta, Mayor Jackson, I'm not saying this is what he did, but this is my perception of what happened. He said, oh, okay, we'll trade out some land, or what is that y'all want? Well, we want this, that, and that, what Clayton County said. Well, we want this and that. Mayor Jackson said, okay, well, let me buy the airport from you. And they said, oh, yeah, they ain't nothing but a dirt airport. Nobody hardly use it anyway. They never dreamed that it would be as large as it is, the largest airport in the world, the world's busiest airport. And so we always hear that, well, how is it that 80% of the airport sits in Clayton County, but it's owned and operated by Atlanta, a totally different jurisdiction, and one can't oversee the other one. They have to work together. One can't tax the other one. The good working relationship I had with Governor Deal. And so, which served well, because when this issue came up with Clayton County, I was able to go in and have a conversation with him and say, hey, this is how this is going to affect my county. I need your help. And he responded positively with going out and identifying money that could come out the state treasury of about $26.9 million. And then we worked out a deal with Delta through their foundation to give the $18 million to the school system. So you have what's going on is you have what's called the SPLOST and the E-SPLOST and the SPLOST. Right. So the E-SPLOST is the education tax of the 1%. But because the jet fuel was part of that 1% that was going to the school system, and the other percentage was going to the county and the cities, all of that would have been eliminated. That's the $45 million.
Okay, I see how that makes sense. I didn't catch that at first. Okay.
And so that's what they would not been able to collect. So they'll still be able to collect the other taxes, you know, like you going to the store and all of that. It's just the money that would have been for the taxes for the jet fuel. So anytime those airplanes were fueling up at the airport, they were paying taxes on it. So with the FAA ruling said Clayton County could no longer collect that. Not only Clayton County, there were other airports and other counties that had to stop as well. So when we went in and negotiate, not only did Clayton County come out good, some of the other counties as well. So when that came up, one thing I can say, the superintendent took the lead. Superintendent Beasley took the lead to get everybody to know what was going on, because to me, the commissioners and even some of our city leaders, everybody would kind of hush on it and didn't want to tell it. And I was like, no, we need to tell it because we need to let the people know what's going on so they can fight for themselves. I said, you don't give people opportunity to speak up, and then when something happened, then just think if it had gone through and then they would have got the exemption again. Then everybody been looking at us as elected officials saying, y'all knew and you didn't say nothing. Why y'all didn't tell us? So we had a big rally at one of the schools at Drew High School where people came out. It was on the news and all that. We were talking. And then so the strategy was, hey, we need to bring Clayton County down to the Capitol. They need to see the faces of the people that this bill is going to affect. And it worked out pretty good. Like I said, it was a hard-nosed negotiation we had to do. But at the end of the day, I want to thank Governor Deal for showing leadership as the governor. He didn't have to do it. You think about it. There's $26.9 million that could have went somewhere else around the state. There's so many other needs. But to know that Clayton County was able to get that amount and that Delta did the right thing by offsetting what the school system would have lost. And the reason the state could not give the school system their money, because then we had to look at the other school system. So they worked it out that Delta gave them their money, and then we as a state took care of the local government as well. So it was a lot of...
It's based on that relationship.
Yeah, everything is on relationship.
And I think that's so refreshing, and that's what I wanted you all to come sit down with State Representative Valencia Stovall and listen to, man. We actually have somebody in office that's working for us. Like, you know, a lot of people home, we say, oh, I'd do this if I had that information. But you're doing it, you know, and you grassroots, you grew up in this community, so it means everything to you. You know, you just recently had another law passed, right? The single parent law?
Yes. So House Resolution 279, it designates, and actually it took about a year for that one to pass as well. But like I said, that good working relationship, and what it does, it designates March the 21st of every year in the state of Georgia as Single Parents Day. And it's not single parents for mothers. It's not just single parents for that. If you're a single parent, whether you're a mother or a father, this is your day.
March 21st.
March 21st. And so we'll be kicking off some different type of events across the state. It is a nationally recognized day. But so we wanted specifically for Georgia to be recognized. I think it might be one or two other states that have actually passed legislation to do it. And your company does a fantastic job of making sure we all look good. You know, we don't look good. You don't make us look good. We don't look good. So we appreciate that. Port City Music. Is it Port City Music?
Music Media Group.
Okay. I remember that city. That 912, the blue, the silver. And the white.
Y'all know this my big sister. Y'all know that. You hear that? Well, you know what? Just keep doing a good job, man. You know me. Anything I can do, I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate
you taking the time out to talk to us today. One other thing I want to get across to the audience at home. You always, no matter where you are, give the information for people to get in touch. And tell people how they can get in touch with their representatives. Even find out who is your representative. Because you know, you out there, you hands-on and you not playing, you fighting for us.
Yes.
But you got some representatives, we don't know how they look. We just know their name on the ballot. You know, you might catch them on TV a time or two. So tell everybody how can they do that.
Okay. Yeah, it's very important to be able to reach out to your your elected individual, whether it's on the local level, whether it's your mayor, city council, county commissioner. On the state level, you have your state representative, and you also have a senator. So you always have two people, two individuals that are representing you here at the state capitol. And then, of course, you go up the ranks to governor, lieutenant governor, and then you have all the other insurance commissioner and all the other areas. But you could now with technology, you can always Google. Is a good start, but you can always go to the Secretary of State's office, the Georgia Secretary of State office, to identify who your elected officials, or you can go on our House website, which is house.ga.gov, and on the Senate side, it's senate.ga.gov. And either you can just put in your address and ask who's my representative. Right. Is another. But if you go on the Secretary of State website, and if you're a registered voter, which is very important, and that you vote. So we have this little list. I'm giving y'all the inside tip. We have a list that tells us who votes, how often they vote. Now, they don't tell us who the individual person they voted for, but we know what party that they use to vote, whether it's Republican, Democrat, or you undecided. And so when we get phone calls down here about, oh, this is going on, I need your help, representative, we look on our little list and say, oh, they're not a registered voter. So I take a little time to get back with them. And then those who we know registered vote, not just register, but they vote, because that's how we get into office. Yes. That's what matters at the end of the day is, are we going to lose our job as being a legislator, or are we going to come back again? So I've given y'all the inside tips. So you need to make sure you're active with your elected body, whether it's on the local or on the state level. Reach out to them and set up an appointment. Let them know exactly what things are you're interested in your community and what you would like to see. And then also volunteer your time with helping them to get to what it is that you would like to see. We can't do it all by ourselves. We have limited funds as far as resources that we have, but you might have an expertise area that you're good in, just like with videography and music. That a lot of times I call on my other constituents with something I don't know how to do. Right. I call on them, and that's how you get involved. Right. And that's the only way our communities are going to get better. It's when we step up to become involved. But you have to take the first step. And if you wonder why some communities look better, why the quality of services are better, it's because those individuals decide to be active in their community. And most importantly, they hold the elected officials accountable. And they will tell them, if you don't do what we want to be done, then next year either I'm going to run against you, or I'm going to find somebody to run against you, and I finance the whole campaign just so you don't get reelected. Right. And so that's what happens. So nothing else that you remember out of all the stuff we talked about today is get involved. Reach out to your elected officials. They're not hard to find them. It's just what the time that you want to take out of it. Make an appointment, sit down, hear their point of view of what their platform is all about, and then expressing them what it is that you would like to see. You might be surprised. There's some things we don't know everything. That's the other thing. And so we build on each other's strength down here at the Capitol. So you have some lawyers, you have doctors, you have just regular lay people, you have educators, and you have funeral directors. So you have people from all walks of life from all across the state of Georgia that come together for 40 days to make decisions on the lives. I always thought it was amazing, the 40 days. Yeah, I mean, they get intense. And if you haven't been to the Capitol, you have an open invitation to come down and visit the Georgia State Capitol. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Right. What's one more I'm on? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think those are three that I'm on. LinkedIn is the other one. Valencia Stovall. So if you Google me, you'll be able to find me. You see what my face look like? You can Google me, you'll be able to find me. And if you want a personal tour, you want to come down and bring a group down, I'll help you to identify who your legislator is. And then if not, if you just want to come down and talk to me, then you have an open invitation.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, District 74 State Representative Valencia Stovall. There are real politicians out there fighting for us just like us. And now you know it. I'll make sure they catch up. And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And you know you always teach me something every time I come in here, so I enjoyed it so much. We'll be right back after this break. It's the OG. And this month on Uncle Earl's Families and Charities, we spotlight Over Everything. Over Everything is a family show based around motivation, recognition, and education. Started by Sarah and Elton Potts, they invite you into their homes, and while entertaining you,
cover everything from current events to tips and tricks that make everyday life a little easy.
And the moral of the story is do whatever you can for your mom, as crazy as it sounds.
Tune in every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, facebook.com/overeverything1. Family, welcome back. We hope you enjoy Inside Politics with Georgia State Representative Valencia Stovall. That's right. Join us for the next episode when e.red takes us inside the music with Grammy Award-winning master audio engineer Jay Brown. That's right. And don't forget, if you want to appear on Trilogy, hit us up at info@portcitymediagroup.com. That's right. Well, family, that will do it for this episode of Trilogy. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep God first and keep it in your own lane.